Peace and dog.
Hello and welcome to the crossover, where nothing is out of bounds and everything is fair game. We have a lot to cover with you today, but first, let's check in with the Tunnel Crew. Please give a warm welcome to Stats, Aggie P, Rooftop, TP, and Big T.
What is happening, everybody? Once again, it is time for At Home with the Crossover. I am your man, Big T, alongside usual cast of characters, my tag team partners. We talking about the First Lady, Mama, the Doctor, the Entrepreneur, all of those things. She is definitely in the house, living large as usual. TP, what's up?
What's happening, everybody? Blessings to everyone.
Blessings to everybody. Love it. Look forward to hearing it every week. Then we got blind as a bat, Radar Charles, pretending like he typing, can't see nothing. I don't know what he typing. It probably got a bunch of squigglies and question marks and asterisks and, a bunch of different crazy letters because he can't see. Radar's in the house. Radar, what's going on, man?
You know what, Big T? As long as we don't have to look at a still shot of you this show, I'm good to go, sir. Now is the way when it's time to play. Aggie P, welcome back. Welcome back, baby.
No freeze-ups tonight. Hey, I'm getting some feedback. Is anybody else getting feedback? I'm hearing the show reverberate. Turn off whatever that is. Anyway. Bird is definitely in the house. He's the man with the Eagles hat on, the Lakers fan, the Eagles banner on the wall behind him, and that sign, John Cena U.S. Championship belt. Bird, what is up?
Nothing much. You can't see this. You can't see me.
Yeah. He's spinning the belt. All right. For those who can't see, he's spinning his belt. And then he's back. The man was on vacation. Hey, relaxing, enjoying life, enjoying the blessings of the Lord. He is back with us. Aggie P is in the house. He's bringing that ag swag to the show as usual. Aggie P, what's going on?
Big T, glad to be back. Always, Aggie Pride is nationwide.
There you go. I know you ran into some Aggies wherever you were because, all you got to do wherever you are is say Aggie Pride, and then you'll hear it somewhere.
Unfortunately.
I did.
Did you? I know you did. Yeah. I knew you did.
Sure.
And then our resident baseball expert, guru, whatever you want to call him, he knows everything there is to know about the sport of baseball. I bet you can ask him anything. And he's like a walking, talking encyclopedia. He's representing the Tar Heels today, so I love that because they ripping it up on the baseball diamond. We're talking about Stats. He's in the house. What's going on, Stats?
How you doing? I don't know everything there is to know about baseball, but I do love the game.
There you go. He definitely loves the game. There is no denying that. Hey, and together we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. Tonight on At Home with the Crossover, we got more turbulence for Deshaun Watson to talk about. Aaron Donald gets paid this week, y'all, so we'll mention that a little bit later on. And like I just mentioned, a huge Major League Baseball report coming up from our man Stats. And so we got all that more to talk about. But first, we begin with the NBA Finals that will lead off our hot topics. And as you know, if you listen to this show every week, our hot topics are the hottest stories of sports. May not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's the things we, the Tunnel Crew, want to talk about. And Stephen Curry went crazy in game one. Actually, in the first quarter of game one, this man put up 21 points in the first quarter of game one, hit 6 out of 9 from three-point range, set an NBA Finals record for the most threes nailed in a single quarter. It tied Michael Jordan for the most threes made in a half. Of course, everybody remembers the classic Blazers finals where Jordan hit all those threes and shook his head and looked over like, I don't know what's going on. Well, Steph one-upped him and said, oh, I see you 6.5. I'm going to hit 6.25. The problem is he only hit one more the rest of the game. And after scoring 21 in the first quarter, finished with 34. So he only got 13 points the rest of the game, in addition to that 1 3-pointer the rest of the game. Looked like he might have got a little tired, according to one Magic Johnson. And the Celtics were down by 14. Aggie P's Celtics were down by 14. And a lot of people didn't know this, but the Celtics have come back 4 times in these playoffs from double digits before that game, which they came back again. And actually, not only did they come back, but they routed Golden State. Won game 1, 120-108, despite Steph Curry scoring 34 points and hitting 6 threes in the first quarter. That put the Celtics up 1-0 in the series. They went on a 17-0 run, and the Warriors went scoreless for about 5 minutes. Al Horford, 6 out of 8 from three-point range. And Boston, it's an interesting stats. Now, not now, but they in their history, they're 13-1 in the NBA Finals when they win game 1. Only lost 1985 to the Lakers. Your thoughts on game 1, Tunnel Crew? Then we're going to jump to game 2. We're going to break them down one at a time. So your thoughts on game 1, Celtics winning and getting the series off to a good start for Boston.
I'm going to let Aggie P handle this because this boy showed out game 1.
Uh-oh.
Well,
you know
well,
that
well,
means.
to be honest, Radar, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, I turned the TV because I thought the Celtics was done. I mean, I thought Golden State was going to win the game, but when I saw it again on ESPN, I was like, okay. Hey, look, Big T, I was like, okay, we pulled it out. A good start, but yeah, man, I'm really enjoying the series. I know you said just on game 1.
Yeah.
But I think this series is going to be exciting, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just can't wait, every game, just like, anyway, I'm going to keep that for the next question. I'm going to keep it.
All right. Who wants to jump in? Who else wants to talk about game 1 of the NBA Finals?
I'm impressed by Horford. I'm impressed how Horford came in that game and really equalized Draymond Green. He really showed out and showed that they can control the flow of the game. Him, Jaylen Brown, and Williams in the middle. That guy's pivotal. And I just found out that guy had knee surgery, right before the playoffs started, like 2 or 3 months before that. So he's playing at 75%. So I'm just impressed with their, resiliency. And I know the coach right now, Udoka, to me, coach of the year.
Yeah. Excellent job by him. Bird, stats, or TP?
I was gonna say I'm not too surprised that the Warriors lost in the first game. When I kind of looked at their history in the past, like even when they played LeBron, they kind of always lost maybe that first or second game. So I knew it wasn't gonna be a sweep. They always kind of lose, and then they kind of try to really bounce back and kind of mesh together. So
get their foot.
Aggie P wasn't here, but I always said, hey, my cousin loves the Celtics. Aggie P loves the Celtics. So I definitely understand. As I said before, I just like it when both teams are healthy and you just come in and battle.
Right? Yeah. Bird, stats, your thoughts? Or you don't have any. We can move on if you don't have any.
I'm with TP on game 1. I think that Warriors, and there's a lot of hype when you're coming into game 1 as a home team too, and the road team can stay. And I think they bounced back well in game 2. I'm with TP on that one.
Yeah. Hey, I want to piggyback on one thing TP said, because a lot of people don't remember that Golden State had a lot of time off too. Yeah, and sometimes you come out rusty when you've been. I think they were off 7 or 8 days or something like that. And Boston played all the way through to a game 7 against Miami. So they were still in warrior mode and Golden State was in vacation mode, you know. Bird, your thoughts before we move on to game 2?
Well, let's not make excuses. That's a factor, but let's not make excuses. The Warriors just took their foot off the gas in game 1, and they thought that they had it. They got a little cocky from what I saw in game 1, and they thought that they had it stolen away. But hey, as we know, old Mo, as we like to call him in football and basketball, old momentum can switch sidelines or court sides anytime. And that's exactly what he did.
I agree, Bird.
Well,
I thought that, man. I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and we've seen already, so we've seen the big momentum shifts in a quarter in this series. Now we've seen big momentum shifts in a game, because game 2, the Celtics led, pretty much the entire first quarter. And it looked like, oh man, they here for real. They trying to take both games at Golden State. And then Steph hit a last second shot right before the end of the first quarter to give Golden State the lead. And then second quarter was nip and tuck, kind of went back and forth. But then in the second half, man, it just became a rout. Steph went off for 29 for the entire game. So he's had 34 points in the first game, 29 in the second game. Draymond Green was a pest all night, caused problems like crazy for the Celtics. And Tatum, Tatum scored 28 points in the game, but he didn't really get any help from anybody else. You look at game 1, Tatum only scored 12 points, but you had Al Horford with 26. You had Jaylen Brown with 24. You had Marcus Smart with 18. And you had White with 21. So you had all kinds of guys contributing in game 1. In game 2, it was all Tatum and really nobody else. And they ended up getting blown out by 19 points. And so the series is even now at 1 apiece. Klay Thompson is the one person that I'm wondering when he's going to show up. He only had 15 points in game 1, 11 points in game 2. So he's not looking like himself. Your thoughts on game 2, everybody, and we may have to carry this over into the second segment, but your thoughts on game 2.
He out there chasing them young boys on them old set of legs, man. He can't keep up. To Birdman's point, that's what it is, man. They got too much energy, and they keep it all 4 quarters. The only difference is they got that experience, that thing called experience, not momentum, experience. You know how to tuck it in. You know how to take that play off and save it for the next quarter. That's what veterans do. That's what champions do. And that's why you got 1, 2, 3, 4 more on the Warriors than you do on the Celtics. But it's a new day. Just like Giannis won last year. It's the Celtics' turn, baby. What's up, AP?
Well, let me say this. I was going to say our YouTubers, first they said, welcome back, Aggie P. That Aggie Pride is definitely nationwide. Right. And then, Small Wonder says still going for them Celtics and ripped away for sure. So, one of the things that I can definitely say is, that brings in a good point. You have veteran players, and that's going to be key, especially if we go to game 7. But you have the young guys. So if the speed outweighs veterans, it'll be a miracle because veterans know how to get it done at the end.
Yeah. Hey, sounds good. Hey, so listen up, everybody. We will continue to talk about game 2 when we go to the next segment. We're also going to get stats, baseball report in. And then we got to hit on Deshaun Watson because, like we said, things just got a little bit more turbulent for him, a little bit more shaky, man. Cleveland, you might be regretting what you did signing him. We'll talk about that more on the other side of the break. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
What's so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, The Joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.insurvice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Make sure you catch us every Tuesday night live on YouTube at 7 p.m. Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel is the place. And like I said, 7 p.m. is the time. And because you'll get a chance to see the Queen, ripping it up, being mama. I mean, shutting people down like she did stats off air. Y'all just missed it. But mama wasn't playing. And she's done it to all of us at some point. That's why she has the moniker of mama. And then, you don't want to miss, unfortunately, then you don't want to miss Radar pretending to see. He does that very, very well. I mean, pulls it off extremely well. And Bird with the belt hanging over his shoulder, spinning it. Oh, and the ring too. I forgot the ring. Yeah, you got the Eagles ring. Aggie P, you miss him going on vacation, coming back with a tan, looking good, and repping Aggie Nation. And then, of course, Stats, bringing the baseball get up and the North Carolina Tar Heel gear. You check us out every Tuesday night, like I said, 7 p.m. live on YouTube, Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. And then on Thursday nights, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download 100.7 WLJF app, and it's found both in Google Play and the iTunes Store. All right, so finishing up things, NBA Finals Game 2. Anybody else have any thoughts on Game 2 and that blowout? TP, any social media comments about Game 2? Anybody got anything to say other than what you pointed out before the break?
Well, one of our listeners said that basically they hear Radar, so they agreed with the comment that he made. Yeah, so they just want him to know that it's okay, Radar, I hear you. So
man, Radar getting love. How you getting all this love, bruh?
Just a little bit.
You know what it is? It's sympathy. They like, man, we got to give love to a blind man. So.
Blind man. That's what I say. A blind man. They have to do it.
To a blind man, getting the sympathy. All right. So anybody else want to comment on Game 2 of the NBA Finals?
I'll say this. Expect to get an upset in Boston in this next game. I expect that to happen. I mean, because it's a 1-2 punch. You upset me at home, I'm going to upset you at home.
Okay, and Boston hadn't been that great at home in the playoffs this run. He just made a prediction, Aggie P.
Yes, he did. Everybody remember that now. For the
right, he came real strong. We gonna hold him to that, Aggie P.
Right.
I think that's why Stats writing. He must be writing down fast.
Say don't let him off the hook.
No.
Right. Hey, Big T, real quick, you gotta go home, but Bird don't do that. I predicted Alabama was going to win.
Yeah. Say those predictions usually come back and bite us, don't they?
Bird, they got me 3 weeks after that. Every day. So be careful.
Rooftop got you good with that one, didn't he?
Hey, Rooftop was still mentioning that a year later.
Yeah.
They don't have any weaknesses at any level.
Right.
He just kept bringing that up, boy.
Sunshine lit us up.
Yes, Okay, so Stats, if you don't have anything to say, you got anything to say about game 2? If not, we're gonna hand it off to you for the baseball report.
All right. Okay, so I have a very interesting theme for this week. And it's in baseball, things can change quickly. Extreme. What do I mean? Well, there were 2 managers on 2 respective ball clubs entering this past weekend. Joe Maddon, Los Angeles Angels, and Joe Girardi of the Philadelphia Phillies, both ironically named Joe. Well, both Joes, when they came out of the weekend, they were unemployed. Joe Maddon, the Angels got swept right out of Philadelphia after the first game of the series. The Phillies fired, Joe Girardi before the first game. The Phillies went on to sweep them right out of Philadelphia. And Maddon, following one day of baseball in Los Angeles, in which Michael Wacha almost no hit, the Los Angeles Angels. He pitched outstanding, complete game shutout, 3 hits for Wacha. Now the Red Sox are in the wild card spot. The third, they leapfrogged the Angels, and the Angels lost 12 straight, and they said, let's fire Joe Maddon. He says, I'm not into analytics. Well, when he was in Tampa Bay, he was really into analytics, but now that it's not working, he's not. So he might find a job, maybe in MLB Network or somewhere else. But the Angels were fed up, and they fired him. The Pittsburgh Pirates are the most confusing team in the major leagues, having beat my Los Angeles Dodgers 5 out of 6 times, yet losing to divisional foes like the Reds and the Brewers in games in which they can't score more than 2 runs. They have gotten hitting out of Jack Sawinski and to Peter Marcano against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Great names.
No one knows who these guys are, but they tear the Dodgers up. And they're better against the Dodgers, but everyone else hits and pitches against the Dodgers. They pitch and hit against the Los Angeles Dodgers and other good teams like the Diamondbacks. And they hit against teams outside of the division, but they can't win against the divisional teams. I think they have to call up one prospect, and they could be relevant right there with St. Louis because Milwaukee's not running away with anything. The Brewers went out and they lost 3 or 4 to the Padres at home this week after they had beaten the Braves. So the Braves now are right there in that wild card conversation at 28-27. They're only 9 games out of first place behind the red-hot New York Mets. And the Mets don't lose anymore. Suddenly, they just keep winning every day, including beating the Padres yesterday. The Mets, they're cruising right now. 9 up in first. Atlanta's fighting for the wild card along with the Phils, along with the Cardinals. And in the American League, you got the Jays and the White Sox. They've been playing pretty good ball. Everyone's trying to fight it out for that last wild card spot. The Yankees, they're still playing better than ever. It's good times keep rolling in New York for the Yankees and the Mets. They posted a record of 72-34 between those 2 teams. So when those 2 teams play, it's going to have a World Series feel to it. And in next after, it's going to be great. The Rangers now can score runs. They score about 4 runs a game, even though they lost to the Guardians, who have been feisty pitching. They're getting 6 innings out of their starters, headlined by Cal Quantrill. And the Cincinnati Reds, don't mess with the Reds or you'll be red because Jock messed with Tommy Pham's fantasy football team and got clubbed before the first game of the last game of the series last weekend against San Francisco. And San Francisco actually takes on the Dodgers. Jock Peterson taking on his former ball club this weekend coming up in the Bay. So that should be a hot ticket as well. And in baseball, that's about it for baseball this week because, you got so many teams so far ahead, but don't forget the Minnesota Twins. They've been playing really, really well, and they have 3 series in a row. They're in first. They got the Yankees, they got the Guardians, and the D-backs. And the D-backs can pitch. Anytime you play a team that can pitch, it's gonna be interesting. So the Twins are 3 up, but that race could flip itself within the next 2 to 3 days because the Yankees could sweep them. We know the Yankees own Minnesota. So that's all I got.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, the Yankees are what, they like 30, like 36-15 or something like that. I mean,
yes.
They swept the doubleheader. The Angels had a doubleheader from a place we won't say on the air. And they lost both games to the Yankees, and that's probably a big reason why Madden got fired because he didn't use the analytics. he used his brain, and it didn't go too well. It didn't go too well.
The analytics are killing coaches, man. Analytics. Well, hey, I'm gonna give you credit for a huge thing that you did in the baseball report, man. You put out 3 names there that would give Larry a run for his money with his hockey name of the day. You had 3 of them there that I was like, whoa, those are some nice names, man.
I just love Jack Sawinski. It's fun to say. So it's the walk-off home run. It's a Sawinski.
There you go. That's Sawinski. All right, well, moving on. Thank you, Stats. We appreciate that. Moving on. So Deshaun Watson had 22 accusers when this thing first started. All right. And then HBO Real Sports with Brian Gumbel did a story I think it was a week or 2 ago for their May edition of Real Sports that broke down the Deshaun Watson situation, had his first accuser, the very first one that came out. They did an interview with her, young lady by the name of Ashley Solis. And she went into some real interesting details about what happened in her encounter with Deshaun Watson. And it happened back in March of 2020, of course, with COVID shutdown. And, Deshaun went to Instagram looking for all these massage therapists and things like that. And then there was another accuser on there by the name of Kyla Hayes. And, she pretty much documented the same type of stuff happened to her. And when they played his introductory press conference with the Browns, she just started crying immediately. I mean, broke down in tears, got emotional because in that press conference, of course, he said, I have never assaulted a woman, never disrespected a woman, never harassed a woman. My auntie didn't raise me that way. It's not in my DNA. And she started crying immediately, And so they had someone from his legal team on there that basically, when they were asked, hey, 3 things did happen. 3 encounters did happen. And she basically said, well, it's not a crime to have consensual relationship with someone. But Soledad O'Brien asked her, she said, well, I thought he has said over and over, nothing happened, nothing happened. So the question I have for the Tunnel Crew, this is not our question today, but I just have a question for you is, are the Browns in some serious PR trouble here for signing him? Because, of course, remember, he signed a $230 million contract with them in March, and it's completely guaranteed money. No matter what happens, they got to pay him $230 million. Tunnel Crew, your thoughts on this Deshaun Watson situation? And it looks like it could be getting worse because on Monday, a 24th person filed suit. And so it's spiraling out of hand.
Big team. Go ahead, Radar.
I think this is going to affect the NFL collective bargaining agreement. It's going to affect it on a large span. I think that's why sometimes these owners let a lot of stuff fly. Mm-hmm. So that way, when it comes time to bargain and they get to levy fines, because you remember they lost the ability to fine players for certain things that they could do in the past. So now I think this is going to bring this right back to light in terms of off the field allegations and investigations alike.
Yeah. Yeah. Aggie P.
That's a good point, Radar. To be honest, I think Deshaun Watson would be on the field.
Yeah.
Football season start. I think some way, somehow, they're going to find a way to get him on that field, especially if they paid him that money, Big T. And I don't know. We might look up next week and it might be 30 accusers. Hey, I might call here myself. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Something's just not. I don't know. Something's just not right with this, with all the number of accusers. Now I know I probably get a lot of heat for saying that,
Yeah.
But it seemed like, I don't know. I mean, you have 20, then you got 24. And it seems like it's just going to keep going. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll talk about it a little bit more on the other side of the break. Not a lot because we got our question today, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. Hey, don't miss this at-home edition of the Crossover every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. YouTube is the place, 7 p.m. is the time. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it, and then catch the audio version of the show on WLJFradio.com on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. You can also download the WLJF app, and you can find it on Google Play and in the iTunes store. When we come back, it'll be time for the question of the day.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the Crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry, join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
100.7 WLJF.
Hey everybody, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Make sure you catch us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends about it. Then on Thursday night, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download 100.7 WLJF app, which is available both on Google Play and in the iTunes store. TP, the queen, the first lady, the doctor, mama, who is in the house. Any social media shout outs, comments, or anything that the listeners want to say?
Yes. So when Stats did his report, Small Wonder said, "Hey, Stats knows his stuff. Thank you for sharing."
There you go, Stats.
Got some fans out here for you, man. Got some fans.
Got some fans for Stats. or as a Rooftop called the Stat Man. The Stat Man.
That's right. Intern Isaac is no longer intern.
That's right. The Stat Man.
Baseball.
Oh. There you go. hey, he probably read that right, you know.
Every night, Vicky. Every night.
I just look at it. I just browse with my coffee. Browse.
Yeah, with your coffee. Okay. Watching the sunset come up, huh? Or the sunrise. The sunrise. All right. So real quick, we're gonna finish up this Deshaun Watson thing real quick. It was mentioned on the HBO report that, there was a habit. He had a habit of booking multiple massages, more than 100 in a year. Most of them were massage therapists that he contacted off of Instagram. And, they also kind of criticized the lawyer that is representing 22 of the accusers. They said that, he's pretty much seeking attention for himself so he can build his social media following and he can land on shows like HBO's Real Sport to give him more of a a media presence and put his name out there more, you know, and hey, that's highly possible. But you know, everybody, we're gonna wrap it up. Final comments about this Deshaun Watson situation before we move on to the question of the day.
So I was gonna say Aggie P had a point, and something that you said had a point. So Aggie had a point when he talked about how the number of people. Let's not forget that we've seen this in a lot of celebrities. We've definitely seen this when it came time for Tiger Woods. Okay, we found out that at least half of the people who said Tiger Woods did something definitely didn't do anything. Some people, they just pay off, especially when some people you just pay off. They just want to put their name in there. Probably didn't do nothing but a picture. And I'm not meaning anyone. This is just the nature of my experience, also from the NBA and being in professional sports as well. On the flip side of it, it's not to protect anyone. It's just facts. When they come up with you, where were you? What time? Okay, we have cameras that said this, but you said this, but the camera says this. Who's lying? So they try to get hardcore facts. The other thing that I wanted to make a point is what you said about the lawyer. And I'm not trying to demean anybody, but you know, you do have some lawyers that's trying to be big, like a Ben Crump. You do have some trying to be out here. And so they feel like to be creditable, they want to track down as many women as they can to put down a person's character. So they can say, okay, this is what I did, and they'll be able to get more people. So, you know, even with that, when you have a lawyer, they're going to go back and say, okay, who's this lawyer? Let's go back and look at his stuff. So that's his job. That's his job, is to do that. Whether it's fact or fiction, his job is to defend his clients. So now you have to just pray and ask for God for the truth to be revealed. Well, and they did mention on the HBO Sports Report that he is the only lawyer that was willing to take the case. I think several of the women went to several lawyers and they all declined, and he's the only one to take it. And so that's when they started saying maybe he's taking it because it's an opportunity for him to boost his profile. You never know. All right. Well, if we are done talking about Deshaun Watson and that situation, we're going to move on to our question of the day. And it's simply this: bouncing back to the NBA Finals and talking about what's been going on there. Like we said in that opening segment, we've seen how things ebb and flow, including, you know, Jason Tatum. We've mentioned he only scored 12 points in the first game, 28 points in the second game. And Steph Curry has been pretty consistent. 34 points in the first game in a loss, 29 points in the second game in a win. And so the question is simply this: we're heading into game 3 tomorrow night. Who has the most pressure on them to perform in game 3? Is it Tatum or is it Steph Curry? In the Tunnel Crew's opinion, Tunnel Crew's eyes, who is the guy that needs to step up, and because he's got more pressure on him to get it done in game 3? And we're going to throw that out there to the crew.
Wow. That's a good question, Big T. Man, I can't answer it that way. They both have the most pressure, but
you'll get roasted for that.
3, since you're just saying game 3 and not the series, I'm gonna say Tatum has the most pressure because he kind of disappeared in the last game. They going home, and I know they don't want Golden State, like Birdman said, to come in and steal a game in Boston. So my personal opinion, I think that Tatum has the most pressure. But if Wiggins is guarding him, man, it's going to be difficult, man. That dude is athletic. So that's my opinion.
Okay, all right. Radar?
If I may hop in there, I was thinking very similar to Aggie P, being that Tatum had the low scoring games, the first 2 games, but being that he's at home, that I thought is a higher chance of the other guys clicking and being able to score. So then I started to look at the fact that Steph just had 2 really good hot first games, and he knows he has to still win at home. So that's a lot of pressure, and Clay ain't clicking, and Draymond's just giving you a lot of that, in between right now. So that's going to put that pressure right back on Steph to show up and show out. And I don't know how much he can handle without overexerting himself, if you will.
Yeah.
Because we all know injuries come, or hiccups, let's say, come when you least suspect it.
Hiccups. I like how you put that.
Things that happen when you like, wait a minute, where'd those come from? And it's because you hold your breath. You trying to conserve yourself, but at the same time, when you in Boston and you just won the second game, and you got to still win at home, that's a lot of pressure.
Okay, all right. Next.
Good point, Radar.
Yeah, it is a good point. Yeah. Next.
I'd say it's on Tatum, because I think, when you look at Boston, this team is built to win a championship probably for the last 3 years, probably, and they haven't got. And the Warriors, this is a team that has gotten it done multiple times, and I feel like home the pressure is the crowd is going to be going crazy. The first quarter, what if they get down by 10 points? That could happen.
Yeah,
they get down by 8 to 10. It's going to be all on Tatum. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Bird.
I say it's going to be Tatum, because he's going to try to overextend himself, overexert himself, if you will, because you're at home. You don't want Steph Curry to steal this from you. And I think he's going to do something crazy or try to do too much for his team, when really he has Horford, he has White, he has all these guys around him that can help him get that win. But I personally believe he's going to do something crazy to cost him that. And it's going to cause Steph to steal it, because Steph has been here before. This is nothing new to Steph. So the pressure is not really on him.
Okay. TP?
So you got the veteran and the rookie. So we don't.
There you go.
But experience has said the veteran, but again, we got speed in the rookie. So who knows?
Yeah. Hey, now I'm gonna go back to Aggie P when he said, well, I was gonna say they both, but now, and I told him he gonna get roasted if he do that. Hey, everybody gonna be commenting and roasting him. Hey, you getting ready to get roasted, Queen, because people today they want us to make a decision, and you say, hey, I did make a decision. I said both, but hey.
You know what? Hey. What's my nickname? Bring it.
There you go. Hey, monitor social media. Let us know if somebody come after you, because I wanna personally talk to them on the air.
They can do whatever they want to, because I can defend them.
There you go.
With her bringing up veterans and rookies, let's not forget last year that Giannis, being the young boy on the block, took out Chris Paul, the elder statesman.
I knew you was gonna find some way to go back.
Let it go. Let it go. We living in the past. Let it go. We living in the street now and now.
Don't that correlate? That correlates, man. Everybody knows
like
Chris
you
Paul
told,
had something up. This is his year. He got it. He from North Carolina. Bring it back to NC. And then we're right back over the Greece. Right with Giannis.
Like you told Bird, I don't know if it's the last show or the one before that, LeBron is irrelevant. He's out. Guess what? Giannis is out. He's irrelevant right now.
But didn't Tatum take out Giannis on his way here? So that means it's his turn. He next man up. Come on, man. He took out Durant, Giannis, and now he's taking out Steph.
Okay,
it all makes sense.
So Big T, who do you think has the most pressure?
I think Tatum. I think Tatum has most pressure, and here's why. Because Boston has proven themselves to be a lackluster home team throughout the playoffs. They've dropped several games that if they would have won them, the series would have been well in control or over, and they've lost those games. So with that being in the back of your mind, you're going into game 3 thinking, okay, we did what we were supposed to do in game 1. We took one of those games on the road. but that means absolutely nothing if you go home and drop one. So in order for you to make that game one win relevant, you've got to win tomorrow night, and then you've got to turn around and win again on Friday night. Because if you don't get it done, you're right. You're right.
That changes the dynamic of the question now.
Okay, you're right. Well, you've got to at least maintain home court advantage, which you stole by winning game 3 tomorrow night. Yeah. So that, in my opinion, puts more pressure on Tatum. But we saw the guy only scored 12 points in the first game and they got the win. So, and that's because he had so much help from everybody else. So if he gets all that help from everybody else, then maybe that takes pressure off him. So it's one of those deals where you say it could depend on what everybody else does.
Right. So it just comes down to shot making.
Making shots.
Yeah.
And if I may interject,
making shots. Yeah.
And if I may say one other thing, Aggie, don't listen to Big T, because you know he don't want no Duke alumni to win the championship and get that MVP trophy and hoist it up and take it back to Duke.
Hey,
don't listen to him.
If that was true, then I would not have picked the Celtics to win the series before it started. Remember, I picked Tatum to be MVP of the finals.
Don't do
now,
that.
How
Birdman.
do you answer that, blind man?
I will, if I may interject again. Didn't he just pick the Yankees because he was trying to make sure they went bad? Because he had a touch of picking teams and they would lose.
Oh, so you saying I'm trying to do the reverse, huh?
Yeah, he's doing the reverse psychology on this Big Aggie. Don't believe the hype. Don't do it, sir. Please don't pick it up.
Radar, you got it figured out, brother. I can't say it. Boy, he did some investigative detective work, and you got me.
Wow.
Get the cuffs out, Birdman. No, matter of fact, Stats, you get the cuffs. Because Birdman was trying to get him off the hook, wouldn't he, Aggie? I think he got something.
Yeah,
it's kind of ironic that he wearing the Carolina hat and picked the Duke alumni.
You got me. Well, there's no Carolina guys left, so
yeah, that's
not neat. All right, so anybody else got any thought on this question of the day? I think we pretty much exhausted it, and it was a good question, excellent question. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on real quick because I want to hit this before we go into the final segment. Hey, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Aaron Donald, got a big pay raise. He signed the largest non-quarterback contract in the history of the NFL, $95 million, $30 million per season. Real quick, Tunnel Crew, because we're up against the clock. Your thoughts on Aaron Donald's big deal?
Congratulations.
Okay. Hey, that sums it up, right?
Hey, plain and simple, Big T.
Hey, if you ever run across this show, Aaron Donald, I could use just a little bit, I mean, just a tiny little bit.
Float it over here to everybody.
That's right. There you go. Share the love, share the love. Hey, be sure to catch this live at-home edition of The Crossover every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. You can find us live on YouTube and go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Then on Thursday nights, catch the audio show, the audio version, of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the app. It's available on Google Play and the iTunes Store. It's the WLJF app. When we come back, it's time for the wrap-up.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
It's time now for the crossover wrap-up report. Let's send it back to the tunnel.
All right, welcome back at home with the crossover, and it's time for the wrap-up, like the intro just said, the intro to this segment. And let's go ahead and take a look at where what happened last week and where we stand overall before we move into the picks for this week. And everything is looking like this. Last week, we all tied. Nobody gained any ground on anybody because the entire crew went 2-1. Now, some picks that aren't showing up here, we all picked our NBA Finals champion and how many games they were going to win in and the MVP. So those will carry over, obviously, to either next week or the week after. But what we did count from that was whatever team you pick, their record is your record. So everybody went 1-1 because the series is tied, obviously. So it didn't matter whether you picked Boston or Golden State. You got 1 win, 1 loss. So we all went 1-1. Then we had one extra pick to make, and everybody won that pick. I think we all picked the Las Vegas Aces in the WNBA, and they won. So we all are 2-1 moving into this week. All right, let's go ahead and look at the overall standings, and they look like this. So since nothing changed, everything's pretty much the same except for the records have been added to. Mel's got 92 wins. He's in first. I got 88 wins. I'm next. Radar's next with 87 wins. Aggie P has 86 wins. If the playoffs end, if the season ended today and the playoffs started, that would be your 4. It would be Bromel versus Aggie P. It would be me versus Radar in the first round of the playoffs. But hey, it's not over yet because TP is right there. She's got 83 wins, which means she's only 3 games behind Aggie P for last place. So she still got time to catch him. And Birdman and Stats are sitting there tied at 72 wins. They got a lot of ground to make up to catch up to 4th place. They are 14 games back. All right, so the picks for this week look like this. These were the choices that we had. NBA Finals pick. You have to take Steph or Tatum. Interesting that that was our question of the day because one of our choices is who will have more points in Game 3, Steph Curry or Jason Tatum. We got a Major League Baseball series to pick here. The Cardinals at the Rays, and you got to pick your winner either 3-0 or 2-1. We got a WNBA game between the Chicago Sky, the defending champs, at 7-3, and the Connecticut Sun at 9-3. And then we got the National Arena League, our very own Carolina Cobras at 6-1. They picked up a win last week to get back in the win column, 6-1. They're on the road at the Columbus Lions, who are 2-3. And then finally, the Belmont Stakes is running this Saturday, and horse racing, of course, that is. And you had to pick your favorite, whoever you think is going to win. The favorites are Mo Donegal, who is 5-1 odds favorite. He's the number 1. We the People, number 2. Rich Strike, who won the Kentucky Derby. He's the 3rd favorite. Creative Minister is the 4th favorite. And the horse called Nest at 10-1 odds is the number 5 favorite. And so we're going to go ahead and start with Bromel, who gave us his picks. He's taking Steph Curry to have more points than Tatum in Game 3. He's taking the Rays to win over the Cardinals in that series 2-1, and he's taking the Sun Connecticut Sun in the WNBA. He has 8 weekly wins for the tiebreaker. Next is myself. I'm taking Jason Tatum to have more points. The Carolina Cobras over the Columbus Lions, and Creative Minister to win the Belmont Stakes. And I have 7 weekly wins for the tiebreaker. Radar, you're up.
Well, all right. I'm going with Jason Tatum. Then I'm going with the Rays, 2-1. I'm going with the Connecticut Suns. They looking real good right now for my picks of the week.
All right. There you go. Next. All right, Aggie P.
I'm going against my Celtics and Tatum and going with Curry. I'm picking the home team, the Cobras, and I'm choosing the Suns. Come on, WNBA.
There you go. And he has 5 weekly wins for the tiebreaker. I believe Radar also had 5 wins. I forgot to announce his 5 weekly wins for the tiebreaker. All right, next. TP.
I have Steph Curry, the Rays 2-1, the Suns for the WNBA.
All right. And TP has 5 weekly wins for the tiebreaker. That weekly wins tiebreaker is becoming a log jam. All right.
I would like a recount, please, sir.
I think you like saying log jam.
Yeah, it's a log jam. Birdman, give us yours.
I picked Steph Curry, the Cobras, and the Suns.
All right. And he also has 5 weekly wins for the tiebreaker. That leaves us with Stats. Stats, give us yours, my man.
All right. I got the St. Louis Cardinals winning 2-1 because that's my dark horse for the world.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Carolina Cobras and Rich Strike. Rich Strike wins.
Oh, you think he can win 2 out of 3, huh? Okay. Yeah. All right. And he has 2 weekly wins for the tiebreaker. All right, it's time for our shout out of shut up and play candidates, and we'll start with the Queen.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my son. He just told me he completed his work for the summer, so I'm gonna give him a shout out to Che Garcia.
There you go, love it. Radar.
Yes, sir. I would love to give a shout out to Carlane Bell, my coworker. She's going through some things, some personal issues, so I wanted to give her a shout out and keep her in our prayers.
All right, there you go. Father, be with her in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, Birdman.
I want to shout out my little brother who had a baseball game today. Didn't know if he won or lost, but shout out to him.
There you go. There you go. Aggie P.
Hey, my shout out is to TP for making it through this segment. She know why, and we'll talk about it after the show. But you did it, TP.
She did it. All right, Stats.
All right, my shout outs. I got 2 baseball related. One to Carolina's baseball team for making the Super Regionals and giving us 11 o'clock Saturday morning baseball against Arkansas. And the other was to Aaron Judge. The Yankees didn't want to pay you, and you just hit your 22nd home run. They got to pay you now.
There you go. There you go. Hey, mine's just piggyback off yours. That's why I'm wearing this Tar Heel hat. Congratulations to the Heels getting it done in the regional. Now they're moving on to the Super Regional. Best of 3 versus Arkansas and Chapel Hill. They're a 10 seed, everybody. Hey, for the Queen.
Blessings.
There you go. For Radar.
Narrow is the way.
For Birdman.
Whosoever believe in him.
For Aggie P.
No weapon.
For Stats.
Stats doesn't lie.
There you go. I'm your man, Big T, signing off and saying, no matter where you are, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be.
That's all we have for you today. So be sure to join us next week for The Crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.